Okay, welcome everybody. It is Tuesday, June 8th, 2021 at 6 o'clock. Some of us are here at the Lee Middle and High School Library. Some of you are still virtual per Governor Baker's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. So some of you are virtual over Zoom. Pursuant to MGL C30A Section 20, I'm hereby informing all attendees that a virtual and audio recording is being made of the meeting. Brenda, can I get you to do roll call while I admit people?
Okay, Mr. Robin.
Here.
Mr. Kennis.
Here.
Mrs. Lucy.
Here.
Mrs. Wadsworth. Okay. And 1, 2. And Ms. Larman.
Here. Are you doing the attendance for the select board?
Usually
They don't have.
in their meeting.
Oh, okay. Is somebody doing your attendance select board people?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm listening to you and I'm having trouble here. Okay. Sean Renier,
Here.
Robert Jones,
Here.
and Pat Carlino. Here.
So welcome everybody. We are here tonight to interview our two people that have applied to be candidates for our Lee School Committee vacancies. We have Nicole. I'm not even going to attempt to say your last name because I know I'm going to butcher it. So I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and to say your last name for me so I don't butcher it.
Yep, no problem. It's Koshorik.
Koshorik, thank you. So we have Nicole Koshorik and we have Kirk Nichols. So I'm gonna ask you both the same question. I'm not gonna go through, we usually have a whole list of questions, but because we have two open vacancies, we have one open vacancy that was left open when Anna Westcott left her position due to health reasons in April. And that has 2 years left, 1 year left on the term. And we have a second open vacancy from when Nelson Daly didn't rerun in May that has 3 years left on the vacancy. So both positions, what'll happen is you will fill the position would be filled until May. And then in May, whoever takes those positions would still need to run, but depending on which position you would hold, you would either run for 2 years or for 3 years, if that makes sense. I'm going to pose you both the same question. I'm going to let Nicole go first, then I'm going to let Kirk go. My question is to both of you is what makes you want to be on the Lee School Committee, and what do you think you can bring to the Lee School Committee? So I will pose that to you first, Nicole.
Thank you. So I think a lot of things motivate me to want to be on the school committee. First and foremost, I would definitely say my children. So I'm a mother of two. I have a son, Matthew, who's in an integrated preschool at LES right now. And I have Juliana, who is a current third grader. So education is a huge top priority in our household, which leads me to my second motivator. I'm also an elementary school teacher of 15 years. So I do have the educational background, knowledge, expertise. And lastly, I would say what interests and motivates me is this community. So my husband and I moved here just about 10 years ago, and we sought out Lee because of the close-knit community that was similar to where we both grew up in small rural communities, and we liked the feel. We wanted to be closer to our family. So I would definitely say those three are the main top: being a mother, being a teacher, and being a community member. What I think I can bring is definitely my passion and my background in the educational field. Not only have I been a teacher for 15 years, I have also created and facilitated teacher development. I am on a district team in Pittsfield at the district level. It's the PBIS team. I'm also on the district EL team. At the school level, I'm on our school leadership team that's in charge of proposing the school improvement plan and the action steps for that. I am also a part of the Family and Community Engagement Committee, as well as the Collaborative Colleagues Committee. So I I do think I have a strong background in the educational field, and that's really what led me here today, is that I've been wanting to become a more active member in the community, and specifically in regards to education, because I do feel like that is my passion in my field where I have a lot to offer. So that's what brought me here today. Thank you.
Do any committee members have any questions for Nicole?
If you don't mind, I'm going to ask one question. I haven't discussed this with the board, my board and that, but all I want to know, because this is the second time we've come together where we've had excellent candidates and it's been hard to choose. I understand now we only have two, but I'd like to know, what do you think is the best thing about the Lee School District? And what do you see as ideas that may help the Lee School District?
I'm so sorry, I couldn't hear that question at all.
Okay. What do you see about the Lee School District that you think is the best of this district? And what do you see that maybe
no audio.
something's lacking? Can't hear? Andrea?
I'll repeat it.
Sorry, I have no audio.
What do you think is the best thing about the Lee School District, and what do you think you would like to see change?
What I think is the best thing about the Lee School District is the feeling and sense of community. I love all of the extras that my kids come home telling me about. For example, right now, tomorrow, my daughter is so psyched it's walk to school. It's the only thing she talked about. My son talks about the spirit weeks, and he's only in preschool. The family events that I've been in, before COVID. So I'm going to say all of the extras outside of the academic learning is what I definitely think is my favorite. Something that I would say to work on would be communication, I feel like. And I feel like Mr. Murr actually said it great in his principal interviews. There's a lot of great, wonderful things going on at LES, but I'm not so sure people know about it. So I would just like to improve that whole school-wide communication between teachers, administration, and families, because I'd like to hear more about the wonderful things that are happening there, because I know that there are a lot of things.
Thank you very much.
She said thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't hear her. Thank you.
Does anybody else have a question for Nicole? Okay. And so Kirk, my question for you is the same question. What do you think you can bring to the school committee, and what made you apply for this position?
Thank you. So I got a taste of our school system this past month. I had the opportunity to be a parent on the Lee Elementary School Principal Search Committee with Randy, and it was incredibly rewarding. It was wonderful to see just the involvement that our school system has in finding leadership for our schools. I've spent the last 14 years of my life in service to our country and to our community. And so really the school district or the school committee is a way to continue service to my immediate community, where I live, where my children go to school or will go to school. So my desire to be on the committee really is just a desire of service to our community and to help provide the absolute best school experience to our kids and to our educators and professional staff that we absolutely can. I think we owe it to our community, we owe it to our students, and we owe it to ourselves to do the best we possibly can in our schools. I don't have an education background, so I think I probably bring maybe a little bit different different side of thinking to the school committee. So that's probably what I'll bring, is maybe a different viewpoint. I know that a lot of times I was sitting in these meetings and the interviews with the principals or the candidates for the principal position, and just things were going right over my head, and I had no idea what we were talking about. But I feel I was able to bring just a little bit different of an opinion or a viewpoint towards some candidates. So that's what I'm going to bring, is just maybe something a little bit different.
I think that's important. I think we need varied voices around the table, not just all educators.
Right.
Thank you. Were you able to hear the people?
Yes. Yep.
Andrea, you were muted, so I don't know if you could repeat what you shared.
I just was asking Kirk if he could hear everybody around on the Zoom thing. Patty, I'm assuming you'd like to ask the same question to Kirk.
I would like to ask the same question. Yeah.
Could you repeat it, please, Patty?
I'm sorry, what?
Could you repeat it to Kirk,
Okay.
please, the question you asked?
So what do you see is the best thing about the Lee School District? And where do you see possibly there are some needs? I want to make it the same question, so.
Right. So it's a shame that I have to go second because I have the exact same answer. And it really is the truth, though, because when I was in on the search committee, it was community. That was what we had just, a list of so many different ideas and topics that we thought that were going to be important for a new principal, and community seemed to be the absolute very, very top thing that we were looking for, was a sense of community. Because that's what we have in Lee, I feel. And I'm not from here. I'm not from here at all. But I see what this community is, and this community it's special, it's amazing, it's great. And so really community is probably the greatest thing that the school has going for it. And I think communication, I hate to say it and run coattails here, but communication, I think, could probably improve. Communication home. I said it in the search committee. I'm spoiled. I have a preschooler at St. Mary's, and we just got the principal there just sent home her weekly email, the week at a glance, where we know exactly what's happening in 7th grade and in 4th grade and in pre-K and in preschool. So I think that's something that is incredibly important that I think our school system should work on and could work on is communication home, communication with our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee?
I don't know if anyone from my board has any questions, Bob or Sean.
Patty, I was going to ask a very similar question, so I'm happy that you asked.
Okay. Bob?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you. I'm very impressed with the letters that Kirk and Nicole wrote as well. So, but I don't have any specific questions.
Okay.
Do either of you have any questions for us?
Right.
You see how he threw you under the bus there, Nicole? It was, she got to go first, but now that it's all on you, he's like,
I'll go first if you want. It's fine.
I have no questions at this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow. I have no questions either.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, again, Andrea, I would just like to say again that I'm very impressed that we've had 2 good candidates apply again, just as we did the last time. We had 3, I think. And there are good people out there who are going to help our school system in our town.
I agree, Patty. I think we've been really fortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the next step we have to do is we have to vote. We have to vote on whether we are going to accept these two great candidates as our on our committee. So I'm gonna let that go over. I'm gonna let Brenda do our vote for us.
I just want to say, should we leave it up to the 2 candidates who wants what slot? Or
what I was going to say is, I was going to say that Anna's position was left empty first, and then Nelson's position was left empty second. So what I was going to do is say the first person that applied got Anna's position, the second person that applied got Nelson's position. That's how I was going to do it, unless anybody had a problem with that. That's how I was going to do it. So what that means is, no, they didn't. They did not. Actually, these came in the mail, but Nicole actually applied by mail first. So Nicole would come in under Anna's position if you get accepted. And Kirk would come in under Nelson's position if you get accepted. What that means is next May, Nicole, you would have to run for 3 years because Anna only has 1 year left on her term. And Kirk, you would have to run for 2 years because Nelson would only have 2 years left on his term. And then in 2 years, you would run for 3 years. Does that make sense? Okay. Is that clear to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay. All right. Are we good now? You ready? Huh? Yes.
Madam Chair, if I could just
Yes.
add one thing, I think
Yes.
it might be appropriate to just, reach out to the public that's in the meeting and see if
Oh,
they
yes.
have anything to add before we vote.
We could do that. Does anybody have anything to add before we vote? Any public comment? I got lost because nobody had their cameras on.
It doesn't look like anybody has anything to add either, so I just wanted to give them the opportunity.
Andrea, if I could, I think that probably as far as next steps, I think you may want to take these votes individually and entertain a motion for Nicole to complete Miss Westcott's term, and then repeat the motion for Kirk to fill.
Yeah, but doesn't Brenda have to do the vote?
She has to take the roll call, but you need to take a motion. There needs to be a second, any discussion. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I'll make a motion that Nicole takes the position Ann Westcott in the Lee School Committee.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Okay, now we got Brenda.
Mr. Aubin,
Yes.
Mr. Kennis,
Yes.
Mrs. Lucy,
Yes.
and Ms. Larman.
Yes.
Patty.
Right, want me to do our roll call?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sean Renier,
Aye.
Robert
yes.
Jones,
Aye.
and Pat Carlino, aye.
I'll make a second motion to accept Kirk Nichols in the position of Nelson Daly's spot in the Lee School Committee.
I second it.
Any discussion? Okay, Brenda?
Mr. Aubin,
Yes.
Mr. Kennis,
Yes.
Mrs. Lucy,
Yes.
Ms. Larman.
Yes.
Sean Renier,
Yes.
Bob Jones,
Aye.
Pat Carlino, aye.
Okay. So welcome to the Lee School Committee. Our first meeting is your first meeting, not ours, we've been here a while. Your first meeting can be next Tuesday. If you'd like to join us, we'd love for you to join us. You should come and join us next Tuesday. But before you can come and join us next Tuesday, you need to go to the town hall and be sworn in. I believe they're still doing everything by appointment. Am I right? Still by appointment? Does
no, we're
anybody
open.
know?
You
You're
can
open.
call, but they're open.
They're open. They're open. Chris Britton needs to swear you in. So you have to be sworn in as a school committee member, and then once you're sworn in, you are good to go. I will be sending you some information on how all your responsibilities as a school committee member. It's going to look like a lot of information. You do not need to read it all at once. Do not get overwhelmed. Ask questions. That's what we're here for. Welcome and thank you for putting your names in. So we are now a committee of 7 again. Yay. Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
He doesn't even give me a chance anymore to like bring it up. Okay, any discussion? All right, Brenda, roll call.
Mr. Aubin,
Yes.
Mr. Kennis,
Yes.
Mrs. Lucy,
Yes.
and Ms. Larman.
Yes, we are adjourned at 6. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry, Patty. I was going to adjourn without adjourning. I'm so sorry.
That's right, I think we'd like to go to. Sean,
Sean Renier, aye.
Bob Jones,
Aye.
Pat Carlino, aye. Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you both.
We are adjourned at 6:20.